Welcome back to Ticketmaster Studios. I'm Dave Archie, the Atlanta Falcon Radio Network and AtlantaFalcons.com. This is my series where I take a look at some of the top prospects that could affect the Falcons the first round all the way through the draft. Let's take a look at the second and third level, the linebackers and the safeties, and I want to start with a big-time player at the linebacker spot. His name is Jihaad Campbell, 6'3", 235-pounder out of Alabama. The junior was a first-team All-SEC performer, 117 tackles, 5 sacks, and 11 tackles for loss. We start off with his prowess in the pass game. He just drops back into coverage. I know Georgia fans don't want to even see that tape as he intercepts a pass against the Bulldogs, but this is a sideline-to-sideline player. This is some of the versatility he brings to the table. Here he is coming off the edge. I mentioned he had 5 sacks in his career, in his season this last year, but this is where he does his best work. Playing in that second level, he can sort through, make the play, make a tackle for no gain. I think he does an excellent job with his ability to read, plug, fit his part of the gap in the run game and make a play. As does an outstanding job of diagnosing. Uses his hands, keeps people off him. Here he sorts through, slides up, makes the tackle. This is a guy I mentioned sideline to sideline. His quickness to be able to read the run game as well as the pass game makes him potentially the number one second level linebacker off of the board. So you take a look at his versatility, his ability. Here's his closing speed to come and get the quarterback. He does an outstanding job in coverage as well. I mentioned good against the run. How about in the pass? Here he is dislodged out away from in space, makes a play in the slot area, does an outstanding job in the pass game as well. And how about the range? Look at him track the quarterback down from the middle of the defense to make the play. Jihaad Campbell, big-time player out of Alabama, one of the first backers to come off the board. Here's a guy that I really fell in love with when I started watching some of the tape, Demetrius Knight Jr. Now this is the guy, 6'2", 235, old school linebacker now. This guy is a thumper. It's 82 tackles, 2 sacks a year ago. Cousin of our own D'Angelo Hall is who this guy is, and he gets to the football like D. Hall used to. Watch his ability to diagnose and go get the football, and boy, when he gets there, he likes to arrive with bad intentions. It's a tough football player that uses his hands extremely well, and when he gets around the ball, he often gets the ball out. We're going to have some tape here, and we're going to see him getting the football out. But look at him diagnose from that second level, got good eyes, now going to close on the quarterback, ball out. That's what you're looking for. Get some turnovers, make some plays. Demetrius Knight Jr., maybe a little short area quickness thing. I don't think so. His straight line speed, his ability to get the football and create problems. Demetrius Knight Jr. out of South Carolina, outstanding linebacker. Here's another linebacker for you. Take a look at Carson Schwesinger, 6'2.5", 242-pounder out of UCLA. The redshirt junior was a first-team All-American. He was third in the nation in tackles. 136 tackles, he sprinkled in 4 sacks, and he had 2 interceptions. This dude is a worker, former walk-on with outstanding instincts to find the ball carrier. He can go get him whether he's in the second level or whether he's up in the line of scrimmage. Here, look at UCLA's disheveled. They don't even know where they're lining up. Look at this guy. Blow up the guard, blow up the blocker for the quarterback, make a play on the quarterback. That's who this guy is. He gets to the football and makes plays. Fast in the run game, and he has a really good recognition to drop off in coverage. Here he is in coverage, playing off in that zone coverage, diagnoses, he's in zone, now got to close, make the tackle, get you off the field, the other team's punting. He can struggle in some man coverage situations. You're not going to put him in that situation. You're going to let him do this. Go get the football. That's Carson Schwesinger out of UCLA, big-time player and an All-American out of UCLA. Let's transition to the third level. Let's go to the defensive back end, and that's Malaki Starks, the safety. You don't really need to talk too much about this guy. First-team All-American in 24. First-team All-American in 23, second-team All-American in 24, led the team in tackles this year at Georgia. Here's the signature play. You remember, if you're a Georgia fan, making the play against Clemson, climbing the ladder, makes the play on the interception. This guy can play all over the field. There's not a more well-schooled player in the draft than Malaki Starks. He's played all over the field for Georgia, started in the back end as a safety. Remember his first game as a Georgia Bulldog against Oregon 3 years ago, 8 tackles and an interception. He just kept doing those things. He tracks the ball extremely well. His tackling techniques are off the charts. He cheats some in man coverage to a certain extent, but you know what? He makes plays. Malaki Starks, big-time player. You play for Curry Smart, you're going to know how to play defensive football. Malaki Starks is a guy that'll hit you and make plays in the secondary. Malaki Starks, outstanding safety out of Georgia. Emmanwori, Now, you talk about a dude when he gets off the bus. Now, this is a first-team All-American. 6'3", 220-pound safety. This guy ran 4.38 at the combine. He had 88 tackles a year ago, 4 interceptions. 2 of those interceptions he took back for touchdowns. Here you see him getting one in the end zone against Kentucky. This guy has great range for the middle of the field. Sideline to sideline guy that can go find the football and get after it. He's an outstanding guy. Now, the little bit of hesitation to come up in the run game, which he shouldn't be because he's 220 pounds, but the guy is a good tackler. Here's the interception here, and how about lighting up the crowd at Williams-Brice Stadium? He goes 100 yards on an interception. That dude's 6'3", 220, just outran everybody. He ran that 4.38 at the combine. A little bit of inconsistency from time to time, but Emmanwori is going to be manning somebody's secondary and pretty early in the draft this year. How about another safety out of Notre Dame? Xavier Watts, 6'3", 204 pounds. I'm sorry, 220 pounds. 24, led the nation in interceptions with 7 interceptions. Oh, by the way, he sprinkled in 6 interceptions in 23. Why? He's a former wide receiver that they transitioned to safety. He's got excellent ball skills. He understands and recognizes routes, and he is a guy that's willing to come up and very willing to play in the box in the run game. But his ability to tackle in space is outstanding. He cheats a little bit, like we talked like with Malaki Starks in the run game, but what safety doesn't? Any safety I've ever known likes to cheat in coverage a little bit. Maybe that's why he's got 13 interceptions in his last 2 seasons. So 3 linebackers, 3 safeties that I highlighted here with the highlight package. Let's take a look at a few more linebackers that I think you'll want to take a look at. Danny Stutzman manned the middle for the Sooners at linebacker, 245-pound old school linebacker, and Barrett Carter at Clemson. Guy that's a sideline-to-sideline player at about 230, 235 pounds, can go get the football. Those are 2 guys to keep an eye on. How about in that safety group? Kevin Winston Jr., this is a guy that played really well at Penn State, and Andrew Makuba, another guy that just made plays. These are guys that just made plays at the safety spot. 2nd, 3rd level, guys that we could be looking at here in Atlanta to help bolster this defense and go get us a championship.